Hello guys, and welcome here to the Lyft National Series race number, I believe, 5 here today from the Dover International Raceway. I'm Brian James here in the booth with you, proud to bring you coverage of the Drydene 200. Starting on the pole will be Dylan Young in that number 2. In 2 is outside, will be the number 34. Of Dylan Ibrahimian. Of course, triple header this weekend. I was right, it is race number 5, by the way. Double header triple header this weekend. The trucks, I believe, either raced earlier or raced later. Can't remember when I was supposed to release those races, but a lot of these guys pulling triple duty. It should be a fun race. Last season, these guys put on a decent show here at Dover. And of course, these guys coming off a thriller at Circuit of the Americas. It was a very tight battle throughout the race. There was a lot of wrecks. It was kind of a meme fest. And by the way, thanks again to Zach Fitzwater for joining us for that race. But nonetheless, a thrilling show. We can only hope that here at Dover, the Monster Mile, we can throw just as good of a show as we saw there. But let's not wait any longer. Let's get to the show. Let's roll the intro. We'll be back with your starting lineup here on GCN in just a moment. Your GCN presentation starts right now. Welcome back. The starting lineup, it'll be on the left-hand side of your screen. Of course, as we get going, we've had 4 different winners thus far through the season. And we'll look to add to that title. Or to that list, rather. Could we see, though, our first multi-time winner of the season? We're going to find out here in just a matter of 40 laps. Dylan Young, Dylan Ibrahimian. Green flag is out. We're underway at Dover. It looks like that outside lane is just dialed in. Dylan Ibrahimian to the lead early. Of course, Dylan Ibrahimian has won this season, I believe, early on. He would sure love to get his second victory of the season. Now here comes Dylan Young trying to battle back. But it looks like, again, that outside lane might just be the preferred lane around here in the Lyft National car. And he's starting to pull away, and as he does, one thing to keep in mind here are the upcoming races on the schedule. Of course, after this week at Dover, we go to Talladega. That'll be our next race. Then we head to Mid-Ohio for race number 7, our second road course of the season. And then, of course, we got Iowa and Auto Club will open up the West Coast Swing. And right before our doubleheader at Phoenix. Those are all the upcoming races here on the Lyft National Series side. And I believe Auto Club, or I believe Mid-Ohio might be in a few weeks after that. Might be a week off. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I have the planner on me. I just don't have it on my screen at the moment. So I unfortunately can't confirm anything at this time. But I will just tell you there's a race every weekend. There's races every weekend. That's all I can confirm. But Dylan Young, you see, has fallen back to 6/10. Dylan Ibrahimian just trying to run away with this lead for now. Of course, he could be the first two-time winner of the season, which would be a great start for that 34 team. Back and forth, that's Zach Fitzwater, by the way. He will have to qualify on time for tomorrow's Cup race. First time he's had to do that in quite a few seasons. So, man, you know the pressure's on, and he's going to want to take as much notes in this race as he can. So that way he knows what to expect tomorrow when he has to race his way in to the Dover race for the Cup Series. Of course, tomorrow's Cup race, by the way, going to be double the length of this race. Of course, that race will be 80 laps compared to the 40 that you see here. See there, Dylan Young slowly eating away at that lead. He ate away a little bit, and now he's starting to close a little more. Closed up a little over 3/10. Now that lead expanding again, so Dylan Young's going to have to find out something, because it looks like that 34 just figured out what the 2 was doing. Zach Fitzwater now up to third. And he will try to close in on Dylan Young now. And again, another thing with Talladega being the next race, these guys know that the pressure is on to have a good finish. We do have a battle for fourth, by the way. That's, excuse me, the 54 of Daniel Gittero. And the 6 of Dario Vazquez. And Vazquez will hang on. Sorry, pace car got in the way there. The 22, you saw Trevor Collins, I almost said Mitchell. He almost got around the 54. He won't be able to do so. Back there as well is the 17 of Axel Smith, already a winner this season. Trying to add to that total. And for the most part, they solved that battle. Again, tomorrow we have the Cup race here at Dover. I believe that'll be a 2 p.m. start time here on GCN. We also had yesterday, I believe, the ARCA races, ARCA East and ARCA West. But Cup Series will be here tomorrow, and then next weekend, Cup and Lyft National will be at Talladega. Should be a thriller over there. Of course, very early on, we have a second restrictor plate race. You see right there, that lead just kind of sitting there at, well, no, actually, 34 just gained 3/10 that lap. But you see right there, the real battle is third on back. Third, fourth, fifth. That seems to be the real battle on track right now. See, the 6 moves high, the 54 are going to go low. Oh man, the 6 is all over the back of that 39, trying to make something happen. Remember, it's only lap 18. You don't want to race that aggressive early on. Okay, obviously this pit road, again, we mention it. This pit road, one of the trickiest to get on. So with that said, as you see the battle for 4th, and the 54 is going to get the position, and that's how you do it. But I was going to say, this pit road is treacherous to get on. That could very well cause a caution. As, you know, not an easy one to get on. So, see there, it looks like second and third are settled out, but now the battle is 4th through 7th. And the 6 is right there, trying to make something happen. We're at the halfway mark. Of course, one more lap led by that 36 will lead to a playoff point. And the most laps led in the race. And it won't happen this lap. Dylan Ibrahimian is in. The 6 stays out. Of course, keep in mind, we mentioned how valuable most laps led are, getting those playoff points. We mention how valuable they are. It is so difficult to make the playoffs if you only have 5 playoff points with just a win, no races with most laps led, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Keith Stevens on, Cliff Clark in, Matt Klein, Samet Ozkan, Averill Mead, Gene Sanford, they're all in. We'll see, does anybody play strategy to get around that 39, or 34 rather? No. It'll be Ibrahimian leading the race off. And you see a little further back, they're going to get a little bit of spacing. So now, the question is, did the undercut work? Will it help the 6 team of Dario Vasquez? There's the 6. The 65 came out in front of him. I don't know if that's a different pit sequence. Might just be. If that's the case, Dave James is going to be in hella good shape. See Ibrahimian back to the lead. Oh, Dave James is actually a lap down. So that did not benefit him, and dead ahead of that 34. Something that could change this race. In fact, it might. Lap traffic moment presented by Fitzwater's Angriness. Look at this. They are really holding up that 34. Hans Dubois and the number 78, and he's going to move out of the way. But it's too late. It helped Dylan Young a lot. Dead ahead, you've got the 8 of Roberto Crown Jr., and you got the 48 of Austin Shaw, as well as the 1 of Dave Hashey. And Dylan Young is hanging on back there, trying to make something happen. He wants his first Lyft National Series win. But boy, he is going to have to really put it to that 34. 34 just ran his fastest lap of 23.59. Now with that 34 caught in some turbulent air, how much does this benefit Dylan Young? We're going to have 11 laps of racing to go, this time at the line. And that 8 is just causing an issue, but it's not really at the same time, because Dylan Young's still hanging back there. As you can tell, turbulent air is really affecting the both of the leaders. It's really not helping Zach Fitzwater back there either. Of course, he's 3 seconds back, so I don't know how that's not allowing him to close, but it isn't. 9 laps of racing to go. See Dylan Young maybe just sitting back there trying not to use his stuff up in that turbulent air. Maybe trying to let the 34 use his stuff up, trying to close on that 8. Here comes the 2. And he is right there trying to make something happen. The big thing is he knows it's go time now. If he wants a shot at it, he's got to make it happen. But the other thing you can't rule out, and I say it every single race now, is what if we get overtime? Here we go. 34 to the inside of the 8. It won't happen. 2 moves high. Keep in mind the 2 and the 8 are not teammates. But this is really helping out a fellow Chevy. With 5 laps of racing to go. And there goes the 34 again. And this time it's going to work. Maybe. It will. And that might have just settled the race. Three laps of racing to go. Or four laps of racing to go, rather. My apologies. And that for sure just settled the race right there, unless we get late pit stops. I mean, that 2 is just, or that 8 is just being a nuisance back there. But again, the 34 and the 2, I mean, yeah, they pitted and should be able to make it on fuel, but that's obviously a big question always late here in these races. 2 laps of racing to go here at Dover. Dylan Ibrahimian just a lap and a half away from possibly being the first two-time winner this season. One lap of racing to go. White flag presented by Mitchell's Memes. Dylan Ibrahimian. We mentioned last season was the heartbreak season for him. He was always the runner-up. This season is looking like a winning season for that 34 team. Out of turn 3 and 4, Dylan Ibrahimian's going to make up for last season by getting his second win of the season this year at Dover. Congratulations to Dylan Ibrahimian. He gets the job done. And Dylan Young, boy did he try. But that 8 was just too tough on him, honestly. A surprisingly caution-free race here in the Lyft National race at Dover. We want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you results and standings, and we'll be back next weekend at Talladega. Oh, the 07's around. But it doesn't matter. So till then, goodbye everyone.